Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. In the world of attack helicopters, there are many types, but few are quite as feared as the Boeing AH-64 Apache. Born out of the Cold War, the Apache has evolved to assume the roles expected from attack helicopters in the 21st century. It is not only one of the most advanced helicopters flying, but when it arrives on the battlefield, it also packs quite the punch. Apaches were built from a need to stop a Soviet tank advance through the Fulda Gap in Central Europe during the Cold War. The AH-64 Apache was built to take direct hits from 23mm rounds on its rotors and keep flying. The same level of protection protects the crew of two. The gunner sits in the front seat and the pilot in the rear. Capable of carrying various types of missiles and rockets, the Apache's offensive power is further enhanced by its M230 30mm chain gun. Because the Apache can be so deadly, the United States required them to be available to travel to conflicts worldwide.
Report BDA, over.
For that reason, the helicopter was designed to be air transportable. The main rotor was designed to be removed for airlift operations in C-17 Globemaster III transport aircraft. C-17s are able to carry up to two of these 11,000-pound aircraft at the same time in their cargo hold. In fact, the C-17 can transport up to 170,900 pounds of cargo in a single flight. In order to get the AH-64 into the C-17 cargo hold, the aircraft's cargo winch is used to winch the helicopter aboard. The winch is attached to the Apache and is steadily winched inside while other personnel guides the process. Once the Apache is positioned where it does not disrupt the center of gravity, it is secured into position by means of tie-down chains. It is inspected upon landing. Maintenance and pre-flight checks are carried out by the air crew and ground crew. The ground crew is led by the crew chief, who is responsible for the maintenance, arming, and refueling of the Apache. When the pilot and gunner fly the AH-64, the crew chief stays on the ground and ensures his aircraft remains in good working order. He leads checks and maintenance on all Apache systems, including the engines, avionics, weapons, and much more. During pre-flight checks, the crew chief remains in contact with the aircrew via his wired headset. He and the pilot coordinate all inspections, and the crew chief decides if the aircraft is fit for flight. Once all checks have been confirmed, the crew chief hands over control of the aircraft to the pilot with a salute. In Europe, air transport is mainly carried out by the A400M. The A400M Atlas was designed and built by Airbus Military, now Airbus Defence and Space. The A400M was designed to fill their strategic and tactical transport needs and a gap between the C-17 and C-130 Hercules. One of the oldest designs of helicopters in the European theater is the Super Puma. The Super Puma has seen many upgrades, making it a versatile and relevant utility helicopter. Atlas can transport one of these helicopters at a time. The A400M is able to carry a cargo of up to 81,600 pounds. Personnel assists as the aircraft is winched into cargo hold, nose first. From here, the helicopter can be delivered up to 2,000 miles away. Atlas is a silent witness to the growing European defense industry, especially Airbus Defence and Space. When the A400M was constructed, it was done all across Europe. For the transporting of large sections of the aircraft, the Airbus Beluga XL was used. It was designed to transport oversized loads all over Europe and worldwide. Boeing has the Dreamlifter for oversized loads. But the Beluga XL beats it in terms of cargo space and operational aircraft. Beluga XL can carry a load of 111,333 pounds inside its 78,000 cubic feet cargo hold. What also makes the Beluga XL special is its capable 2,600-mile range. The name Beluga was chosen by the workers of Airbus. One can only imagine because of how the Beluga XL looks, resembling a beluga whale. Talking about whales, the Aerospace Line's SuperGuppy is another plane that looks like it was blown up to resemble an airplane balloon. Owned by NASA, or the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, the first SuperGuppy flew in 1965. Because of its ability to transport oversized loads, the SuperGuppy is often used by NASA to transport rockets and parts of spacecraft. One such example is the Orion spacecraft. Better known as the Orion Multipurpose Crew Vehicle, or Orion MPCV. It is a crewed spacecraft used in NASA's Artemis program. The whole front of the SuperGuppy swings open, supported on a wheeled strut. Because the Beluga XL is larger and more modern than the SuperGuppy, it has now replaced the SuperGuppy for NASA. Large aircraft handle cargo, which other aircraft cannot. Now to another heavy loader. The C-5 Galaxy is the third largest military transport plane in the world. It is capable of transporting up to 2 main battle tanks. The M109-86 Paladin is a self-propelled howitzer weighing 27.5 tons. Galaxy can load cargo from both its rear and front via massive cargo doors. For that reason, it has 2 cargo winches, one for the front and one for the rear. These are operated by the aircraft loadmaster, which is also responsible for loading and managing cargo in his aircraft. The C-5B Galaxy has 2 loadmasters. Together, they ensure that vehicles such as the Paladin are loaded correctly, taking into account the center of gravity of the aircraft. Because the C-5 is high off the ground to ensure it can land and take off without incident, it is a bit too high for cargo loading. To solve this problem, the entire aircraft can squat or kneel down so that its loading floor is closer to the tarmac. Since the C-5 can be aerially refueled, its global reach is incredibly expansive. On the modern battlefield, the AH-64 Apache is still one of the major players able to bring massive firepower to bear where required. When it comes to transporting loads, such as the AH-64 and larger, the C-5 Galaxy is one of the largest military transports in the world. And is well supported by the C-17 Globemaster III. Europe's A400M Atlas covers a niche in the market between the C-130 and C-17. Even though heavy transports such as the SuperGuppy are no longer with us, the Beluga XL has emerged as the major player in the world of supersized cargo transport. That's the end of this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.